talk to you since Jalen and Daryl made their decisions. I know you're happy with them going through the process, but also happy with them being back.
Well, it worked. I thought the process worked, and I supported whatever they did. Me and my staff did, and got the information to them, and obviously they made the right decision. I think in order to come back and get better. I think with what the kind of year they had, to me, is one of those deals where you put yourself on the list. Now, to me, with a lot of off-season work and continue to develop and continue to be impacting this team, they get a chance to go up on the list. So I'm excited about that. Excited about this team. 6 seniors. Looking forward to really getting the guys here on campus this summer, which will take place right at the end of this month, and we'll start that process of getting ready for 2016-17.
How critical was it to get those guys back for the development and the direction you want to continue to take this program?
I think it's important. When you talk about guys that came in and impacted like those guys did, and a lot of times you're going to be as good as your guards. And we found out potentially, what those guys bring to the table. There were cases and time in the season where those guys actually kind of almost took over the game. And so to have those kind of guys back, along with guys like Anton Beard, who's been to the tournament 2 out of the 3 years he's been here, Trey Thompson, those guys are going to be critical. And Dustin Thomas, it gives him a year to grow. I think that means so much. And Orlando Cook, I think he'll be a lot more comfortable. I say, if anything that I think it shows is that the culture is strong, because those guys, much like Moses did, they tested the waters, but they felt like they can come back here and get better and benefit themselves.
Guys don't always make maybe the right decision. Were you sweating it out, or did you always feel they were coming back? What was it like for you waiting to see what was going to happen?
I think really it was just like with Moses. I think we just stayed in communication with him. We got the information to him. We did the same thing with those guys. I just think it's the relationship and the communication with those guys. Those guys were open with me and my staff, and it was vice versa. Any kind of information we got for those guys, we got it to them. So I think they're in a good place, and I think they enjoy what took place. And as you've seen, they talked about it. There's some unfinished business, and it could be another special year with this group.
R.J. Glasper obviously transferred out. Everybody else coming back.
Well, right now, actually, I think last week, I got a request from Bracken Hazen, and we've given him release. He seeked his release, and I think we've given his release.
He obviously didn't play a whole lot, but how does that impact you guys?
Well, you don't want to lose a guy, especially a guy like Bracken. I just think his upside, his potential is big. It's just this year with some guys that were playing well in front of him, they were competing for playing time. I thought this year it would get a lot better for him, and then you got those guys being seniors, and with a guy that's skilled forward like Bracken, it's just a matter of him getting maturation process. And but everybody, you notice it around the country, man. Everybody's in a hurry to do something. So, but that's other than that, our guys are really looking forward to coming in and trying to get better.
That's a scholarship available. Do you plan to add anybody, or just leave that open?
You know me, I never stop recruiting. So as we move forward, my staff and I are daily seeking and trying to find some guys that can impact. The one thing you don't want to do is bring somebody in here and all of a sudden it's the same thing. It's like a revolving door. They come here and they leave out. And so if it's going to be someone, it's going to be the right person.
With Bracken, was it about playing time? Maybe
it's it's just I'm sure that was a big part of it.
Jalen and Daryl obviously had really good years, but you look at Jalen, I think his assists, he had like one more assist than turnovers, 3-point shooting wasn't that good. What do those guys need to do to take it to another level, to go from being, good to great? Maybe?
Well, I just think as you evolve, what type of player, if you have a chance to play at the next level, what type of player are you going to be? With Jalen, he's going to be a guy to distribute the basketball. He's got to make other people better. He showed the capacity that he can score. And I just feel this year he'll be a lot more comfortable. Our guys will be more comfortable with him. And so I think you'll see a lot of those stat lines that those guys have go up, whether it be Barford, whether it be Macon. And you just remember also you got a guy like Beard. I think it's going to benefit a guy like C.J. Jones coming in this year. And we saw the potential with Adriel Bailey right there at the last of the year. I mean, this guy played, 19 minutes in the North Carolina game. And I thought he played pretty good. So I think the key for this team here is to take that momentum of what took place this year, take it into the summer, and then let's take it into the next year.
What about outside the stat line? How does it impact the chemistry of this team to have those two guys come back, two key pieces?
I think it's key. I think any time when you look at, you got 6 seniors, it's got to be one way or the other. They're going to all be on the same page, playing for the same common goal, or they're going to be trying to do their own thing. And I don't think these guys are those kind of players. So I think it's going to continue to be an unselfish team. I think it's going to be one of those, to me, this was a fun year. But I think with this group coming up, I think it'd be even funner. Because go ahead.
You've had trouble restarting the Memphis series, and now Tubby's receptive. Are you surprised that he's willing to do it when 2 previous Memphis coaches wouldn't?
No, I don't. I think Tubby gets it. Tubby's been around a long time, and as I said, we're good friends, and I just think it's a great game for this area, this part of the country. And I admire the things he's done. He's a mentor to me. And so, but he's seen the Memphis series over the years, and so I just think for TV purposes, for what has taken place in the past, the players, these guys play each other during the AAU season quite a bit. Matter of fact, we got some kids that go over in Memphis and play on some of the Memphis teams. So, but I think it's an exciting series, and looking forward to getting those dates and getting them etched in stone where we can continue, and hopefully it could be one that continues for a long time.
How important is it for the program? Because when Coach Richardson was here, that was critical, especially in the recruiting ground. Just how important is that?
I just thought it was fun. I just thought, you're talking about a hotbed. Memphis is a hotbed for talent, and of course, I think our state now is producing players as well. So I think when you got states that border each other, I think it's kind of a natural, and especially with what has taken place in the past.
Last one, guys. Daniel Gafford last week, I guess, tweeted that he hurt his meniscus, and I don't know.
He did?
Yeah. I guess, what do you know about that, how it happened?
Well, I don't know what took place, but we'll see once he gets up here. He's scheduled to get in town next Saturday coming up. So we'll get our medical people to take a look at it and see where he's at.
Last one, Jason. How important is this tournament for you and for what you and your family want to do?
Oh, this is so critical. I mean, when you live in a place, you want to impact it, and obviously there are some things I want to champion because they're dear to my heart. And when you talk about cancer, prostate cancer, my mom died of pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer. My brothers have had prostate cancer. I have a grandson that had open heart surgery at the age of 1. So those are some things. And, one of the things I don't like to see anybody go hungry. So the food pantry, the Heart Association, even the Children's Hospital. And in Little Rock, we've been involved with that one there, and now we want to be involved with the one that's here. So it's an opportunity for us to do something. And these guys, former players, coaches come in, and our community, they rally around it. Each year it's gotten bigger and bigger, and so it's you want to be a giver. Don't be taking all the time. You want to be a giver, and that's my motto. That's my mindset, is to see if we can give to this great community that we live in.
I think about Joe Johnson still playing the NBA 16 years and showing no signs of giving up or retiring.
To me, it's a testament of Joe, and one of the testaments, I think he's taking care of his body. I mean, for a guy to score over 20,000 points and continue to play at a high level. I mean, his name says it all. Cool Joe, smooth Joe. That's what it is. I mean, it's a testament to him. I think he's taking care of his body, and he's played at a high level, and I think he's represented Arkansas really, really well.